My name is Q Phillips, one of the founders of Frontline. I get to wear dual hats today, one as a community Frontline member, and then also my hat as a Fort Worth ISD school board trustee. And I'm so grateful that today we get to have an educational update. It's been a lot of things going on since we have hit this little tumultuous time in our life with COVID-19 taking over everything that's happening on every front. And we wanted to make sure that we're able to get the proper information out there to the community about the state of education here in the Fort Worth. So we are so grateful that my man, the superintendent of Fort Worth ISD schools, were able to jump on. This is Dr. Kent P. Scribner. Kent, thank you so much for joining us today, man.
Well, thank you very much. It's great to be here with both of you.
This crisis that we've been in has unveiled that there are still inequities, even though we already knew that, but it really got to rear its ugly head and show the inequities that are happening all over the country, all in our community, man. And so with that being the case, it really came to the forefront that the school systems are really the ones that are feeding a majority of our young kids around, our students, our young people around the country on a day-to-day basis, and that people are really relying on that food.
Nothing has shined a greater light on the disparities that exist in our communities, more so than this crisis. When we started, we talked about having 7 and then maybe later 10 feeding sites. As it turned out, we needed to have 18 sites, food distribution sites. We were feeding over 50 to 60,000 meals a day. We have a system by which we started serving lunch every day, which was today's lunch and tomorrow's breakfast, so that families could come pick up food for their children. We listened to our community and listened to our parents, and the feedback that they gave us was to have 2 days of food distribution. So instead of 5 days with 1 meal, we actually increased the number of meals. Now we're serving 2 days. We're serving 3 days of meals each food distribution day. So if it's a Tuesday and a Friday, on Tuesday they get 3 days worth of food. On Friday they get 3 days worth of food. So now we're getting 6 days worth of food. And we've really found that now as the crisis is lingering and continuing, that families are more and more depending on this food. The number of families who showed up every day has increased, and we want to make sure that we're meeting their food insecurity needs as well as their social and emotional health.
And so along with that, with us seeing how we had to fill the void food service wise and filling the void for those food insecurities, we were also able to see how the digital divide also reared its ugly head. So with Fort Worth ISD, we were already 1-to-1 when it came to devices for our 6 through 12, for our middle school and high school students. Every one of those students already had a device to be able to utilize, but we didn't have that same ratio down in the elementary rank. So we've been able to see that families have been needing access to be able to have a device, but then even when we able to provide a device, that we also that there's families that can't utilize the device correctly if there's not Wi-Fi available for them. So I know that as a board, we just had a decision to be able to furnish more of those products to be able to help every family out.
I want to thank our board of trustees and you personally, Q. With the board's leadership, we were able to purchase 6,000 additional Wi-Fi hotspots, another 4,000 additional devices, and we're deploying those. So we're moving our way through the district again with an equity lens, getting devices to those families who need them the most. But it really comes to a more fundamental question of equity. What we need are Wi-Fi towers in East Fort Worth and Southeast Fort Worth. What we need is the AT&T and the major corporations to, if they're going to put one on one side of town, they should they should only get the permit to do that if they put one on the other side of town, so that we do have digital equity and digital fairness. Because as we move forward with this crisis, this may not be the only time that we are going to be educating virtually and at home learning. So it is patently unfair to have some students with robust Wi-Fi and other students without.
We've been able to go in now. Here's the hotspots. Here's the devices. And then from the very beginning, right after spring break, as soon as we got off of that hiatus, we already had resources available online for people to be able to utilize to start the online learning before we got into the full curriculum that we're doing now, where teachers are having more contact and everything, and being able to help, lay out assignments and help with assignments. But with that being the case, now with us knowing that that we're still working through making sure everyone has the device, has the hotspot and everything, how is grading now going to be working within the district?
So we moved to a pass-fail system. We want to see students make effort. We want our parents to support their students where possible. We want our teachers to reach out. Now, you can have pass-fail and still have rigor, because we're telling our teachers to provide feedback, and lots of feedback and more feedback. So there's a two-way flow of information. You can still do pass-fail and benefit and grow. And
so now, I got a laptop, I got access to internet, and now my young person has to get on here, and I don't know how to help them, what to do. What kind of advice should we be giving them? How should we be steering those people?
So a couple things. Well, one is if the parent or grandparent with a smartphone or a computer has access to the internet, please reach out to the district website, fwisd.org. On our website, there is a button to push called Let's Talk. The Let's Talk button goes to our staff and communications, and they direct it to the right departments. And we really try and get an answer back within 24 to 48 hours. I would really encourage our parents and grandparents to reach out to the school teacher, the classroom teacher, and then also the principal. And we'll be putting more contact information up on our website based on this conversation.
Another couple quick things to be able to hit before we get ready to end this session is there any updates surrounding graduation? So
it just hurts. It breaks your heart to think of your own senior year in high school, my own senior year in high school, and how this group, the class of 2020, really missed out on their spring semester of their senior year in high school. It's a terrible, unfortunate circumstance. However, through this kind of adversity, young people grow character, and these are the experiences that are going to stay with them forever. So we're looking at virtual ceremonies. The deciding factors are going to be the CDC guidelines, as well as county and city restrictions. Safety has got to be first. That kind of leads us into the summer school conversation. Also in the meetings that I've been part of at the state level, the sense is there was very unlikely to have person-to-person summer school in June. Likely what we would be looking forward to is a jump start either in late June or early July. We hope to be back in normal person-to-person instruction in August. We're concerned, though, that the second wave of the coronavirus, including the flu, would be coming back in the fall. And there's some talk that we would have August and September in-person school, and maybe by October, November, have to go virtual again, have to close down again. So every week we're getting better at online instruction. We want to continue to improve just in case we have to do this next fall, and then even into the future.
How can people be helping during this time? If there's anybody out there who wants to be able to help students who are concerned about the district, who wants to see things go well. I know that we've organized with a lot of churches and nonprofit partners, things like that. How can people be helping during this time period?
So the extent to which we can reach out to our neighbors, we can check on anybody in the community who may need help. We'd really appreciate it. These are times where we all have to pull together, and we will get through this, and we'll be stronger as a result. But I'm a huge proponent of continued communication and a two-way flow of communication where we're listening to our parents in our community, and we can also share information with them. So to the extent possible, particularly with our younger students, reaching out to the schools and the principals and asking for what their specific needs are.
Absolutely. Well, man, I'll say this. I just want to quickly say thank you to my colleagues on the board with me. I can say to a man, to a woman,
Yes.
They have been putting young people first, and it's been amazing to see that shift in dynamic that's been happening with our board, and just phenomenal people who really care about making sure that the students and the families in our communities are served. So I'm so grateful for them. And then, hey, a direct thank you to you, Kent, and your staff, the administrative team. Since, like I said, the second this hit, y'all sprung into action. Y'all got no spring break whatsoever. Y'all went straight into working council plans and going full force into making sure that our district was staying afloat. And then not that we were just solely surviving, but that we were continuing to thrive in this time period, man. And I just cannot thank you enough for your leadership, your guidance, and all the sacrifices that you and your family have been making during this time, man. So kudos to you. Much appreciation. Seriously, man. Job well done so far. Yeah. So with
and
that
thank you for your leadership.
You already know, man. I got you back. But with that being the case, thank you, Frontline, for tuning in. Any questions you may have, hit us up. We thank Dr. Scribner for taking time out of his schedule to make sure that we're updating the community. We will make sure the community has all the information they need. And of course, Community Frontline will be out making sure that we're taking care of folks. So you can check your inbox, check our Facebook page, because we have a link where we are helping folks. So if there are people out here who need help with groceries, with utility assistance, with we're trying to get masks right now. There's a lot of things the community at Frontline is doing right now, just trying to make sure we're playing our role. Feel free to hit us up, let us know. If you want to volunteer in some way, we will take that. If you want to donate, we will take that. So that information will be available. We definitely solicit your prayers, we'll solicit your guidance, we solicit you volunteering, and we solicit your donations, and we just thank you for everyone who's doing their part out there. So for Community Frontline, we're going to sign off. Thank you, everybody, for what you're doing out there. Thank you, Dr. Scribner, and we will see you all very soon.